Hello, my name is Luke Moore, and I am your son or daughter's anatomy teacher this year. Um, Very excited about this class and the students I've gotten to meet so far. I'm really looking forward to a great school year, even though it's a little strange, but we can handle that. A little bit about myself. This is year 16 of teaching for me. I spent 2 years at London High School at the beginning of my career. Then I was at Big Walnut High School for 12 years, and then this is year 2 at Olentangy Berlin. Been doing life science the whole time. So biology, mostly biology, environmental science, and anatomy. Anatomy, this is probably my 10th or 11th year teaching it, and it's probably my favorite class to teach, mainly because of I think the human body is amazing. The things that we're going to learn in here are, we're able to connect to them. We're able to see them in our everyday lives. And it's just a fascinating piece of equipment we have walking around. Um, as far as the class goes, it is designed for students that might have an interest in being in a medical field one day, whether that be a nurse, a doctor, a physical therapist, maybe even a vet tech or a veterinarian or ophthalmologist or dentist. The list goes on and on. But it's going to help those students in those situations that want to go into those majors in college. It's a challenging class. It really is a challenging class. We're going to do a lot of pretty complex stuff this year. A lot of terms. People always talk about how there's a lot of memorization in anatomy, which I suppose is true. But I harp that we don't memorize things. We learn things. We learn the meaning of things. We learn the root of things, and then we're able to recall that information. So hopefully that's where we're going. But like I said, I'm really excited. In this video, I'm just going to take you real quickly through how the class is going to work. I'm going to show you a few things from my Schoology page. And then, if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer those at any time. So what you see here on my screen is just a sheet that I gave the students last week, expectations and course of study. This goes over rules and things like that. I'm not going to read through all of these, but I do want to point out a couple of things to you. It says, what do you need for this class? Students, we've talked about BYOD, so if they have a laptop, a Chromebook, something that they can bring, uh, please have them bring that daily. We're trying to limit the amount of papers that we exchange with each other, meaning it's going home and then coming back. Although they will get papers, but we're going to do a lot of stuff electronically. They need a binder, a 3-ring binder, and tab dividers. I preach organization a lot to my classes, and this is going to be a big one. So we'll organize all of our stuff throughout the year in our 3-ring binders. I'm going to skip this section and you can read that. This is our units and progression. You can see the way we're going to go. We start off with a couple of generic units, and then we get into the system, which is called systemic anatomy. We take a system by system approach of studying the human body. And then you see here, once we get to the muscular system, we'll start into our dissections. We'll dissect a few things this year. We'll dissect a rabbit, hopefully a sheep. When I say hopefully, kind of an odd school year, so we're not real sure about how things are going to work yet. But the hope is that we'll do a heart and a brain and maybe an eye throughout the year, as well as the rabbit. Grades, very little homework. Now, I'm going to give each kid a yellow packet for each unit, a yellow homework packet, and they've actually received that already. That yellow packet is for them and them only. They can do that work, and I highly suggest it. And we'll go over those things, but it's not something that will be graded by me. It's practice. It allows them to review their notes. It's kind of like a test review. So as far as homework, there's not a lot of homework. Our grades mainly in this class are going to be determined by weekly quizzes and tests. Each unit is divided into little sections, and each section is assessed. Excuse me. So when I do a quiz at the end of the week, that would be section 1, and so on and so forth. So the reason I do that is it kind of breaks the unit up. And we've talked about this in class, but everybody's had a class where they wait until the day before a test to try to study a month's worth of material. Well, with these weekly assessments, what we're doing is forcing kids to study a little bit as a time to prepare and learn that material. Now, all assessments are going to be online on their computer, and we'll get back to that in a moment. Other things we'll do for their grade, I will check their binders every quarter. So that's a pretty easy grade for especially a junior, senior in high school. And then lastly, we'll do a couple big projects throughout the year. And those will be fun where they're actually able to pick a topic that they want to do and then really dive deep into it. My contact information is right here. The Schoology page is kind of the central hub where I'm going to put everything. So if kids have any questions or you have any questions, you can always find stuff there. My email, I check my email 20 times a day, maybe more. So please feel free to drop me a line and I'll check that as soon as I can. I do have a Twitter page, although this address is wrong and I apologize for that. It's actually at morescience174. But if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'll probably post some things for you throughout the year. Now, looking at my Schoology page, it's pretty bland right now, and obviously it'll get bigger and bigger throughout the year. But this first tab, General Class Information, here you can find my syllabus. I will have a calendar. Well, let me just open it up. I'll have a calendar for the things we're going to be doing throughout the year. I have a sheet that I call Hybrid Learning Expectations. Let me open that one up real quick. Hybrid Learning Expectations basically goes over how we're going to do this. So one thing is that even when students are not in class, they basically should be in class, meaning that they should watch the videos or the lectures for that day. And then when they come to class, the goal is that we're doing more hands-on activities rather than just listening to lectures. So all of my lectures are going to be posted online, and then they should be able to watch those at home. And when we're in class, we should be able to review, ask questions, have good discussions, or do labs and activities. In addition to that, it goes over the tests or the assessment policies. As far as assessment goes, when they're not in school, they could watch those lectures at any time, and that's fine. When on test and assessment days, they will need to log in and take those assessments at the same time they have class. So let's say they have anatomy with me third period, and that's from 9 to 9:45. They would need to log on at 9 o'clock on that day, only on assessment days. Every other day they can watch it whenever they want. On assessment days, they need to be in class, I say in quotes, to take those assessments and get those things done at the same time the people in class are doing it. If I go back a couple here, you can see my course of study, which I've already gone over, calendar. But the main part is this. I'm going to run everything using something called a HyperDoc. So a HyperDoc is basically a sheet where I post everything and it goes day by day. So on the HyperDoc, I will always post my targets. I will always post my notes. I will always post my Google Slides presentations at the top. These are things that they can use to follow along, and they will also get paper copies of those things. But then we just go day by day. We have, well, I guess these first days were just kind of more intro stuff. But so for instance, Tuesday, September 8th, there is a lecture here. There's a couple of lectures here, excuse me. They should watch those lectures before they come to my class. So then when they come to my class that day, I can say, okay, watch those videos. Let's have a discussion about them. What'd you think? What questions do you have? We'll probably pull up the notes. We'll probably pull up the PowerPoint and then just go through a real quick rundown of those things. And then we can get into the activity or lab part of what we want to do there. So if you go down through here, you can see how every day is broken down. There's links to videos. It may say, okay, we got a quiz on Friday, September 11th, or it might talk about a labeling sheet or something that they got to do. So I'm going to use this for every unit. And I've told the students, hey man, if you're confused, if there's something that you want, or you know that the HyperDoc's not working for you, just talk to me and we'll try to figure out a way to fix it. Going back to my Schoology page, there's also this. This is a discussion board. It says got questions. So if they watch a video and it's something might have confused them or they need a little bit better explanation and they're at home, they can post a question on there and then I'm able to see it and answer it very quickly. And actually that goes to the whole class. So I tell them a lot, if you have a question, probably somebody else in the class has that same question. So don't be shy about posting that, and then I'll be able to get back to them pretty quick. They can also email me or message me on Schoology. Sorry, I'm looking at my list here of things I need to tell you. They will get an orange packet, a yellow packet, and a white packet. The white would be my notes and my uh, learning targets. The yellow I've already talked about. Those are the things that they can do on their own just for practice for themselves. The orange are the sheets that we'll do in class. So those will not come home, but that might be lab. So for instance, I'm filming this video on a day we're going to do a lab talking about somatotype or body type. So I'll give them that packet in class, and then they'll give it right back to me at the end of class, even if they're not finished. And they'll finish it the next day they're here. That prevents papers from going home and this exchange of stuff from home and back to me. I believe I've covered everything on this video that I think is very relevant to the course. Like again, like I said, extremely fun class. Do a lot of really fun stuff in here and learn a lot of really cool stuff about the human body. And again, let me throw my contact information back up here. Oh, I'm sorry, there we go. Lucas, Lucas _Moore at OLSD. Easiest way to get a hold of me. And again, that Twitter address is wrong. And I'm sorry about that. It's at More Science 174. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I will answer them as quickly and as best I can. And I really look forward to a great school year. Hope to meet you all soon in person when all this craziness is over.